This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. More about that in a few minutes. Today we're going to be talking about 10 little Tesla secrets and tips that you as a new Tesla owner should know about, and maybe some of you that aren't exactly new should also know about. My wife and I have been driving Teslas now for over 3 years, and these little tips have made a big difference in our ownership. Some of them are just fun tips, some of them you really need to know. So sit back and have some fun and get ready to smash that like button if you find a tip that you like. And of course, if I don't mention a tip that you really like and think people should know about, put it down below in the comment and I'll be sure to add it in a future tips video. Now I have over 30 different tips I think are really important, so I'm breaking it up to 3 different videos. I have a very short attention span, so I'm only putting 10 in each video. So make sure your bell notification is rung and you are subscribed so you catch those next videos. Now let's start with number 10. Alright, let's get this kicked off with regenerative braking, the part of the electric car where you take your foot off the accelerator, the car automatically slows down for you. Since this can be turned off or sometimes turns itself off, it's important to remember to drive differently when this happens. With regenerative braking on, you're driving generally with only one pedal. You can go on multiple drives never using your brake pedal, and then all of a sudden now when regenerative braking is off, you will have to drive it like a normal car, having to come to stop signs with the brake and not run into the car in front of you. Now if you manually go into the settings and turn it off, you're probably prepared for that. But if you get into your car, maybe your battery is charged full, or maybe your car is too cold, it's very possible you can get yourself scared a little bit. So just be careful that when you see the little notification that regenerative braking may not be at its capacity, that you're being very careful to keep your foot on the brake and be braking like you would be driving a normal car and maybe helping the car out a little bit when it's not doing it enough. For example, the other day I had a long drive, so I charged my car to full 100%. Well, when I got into my car, pulled out of my driveway, I just about ran into the car in front of me because when I took my foot off of the accelerator, it did not slow down. So just remember, if regenerative braking is slowed down, reduced, or you turned it off, just be ready for the brake pedal. Alright, number 9 involves getting ready for autopilot. I cannot believe still with how long I've been doing this on YouTube and everything else, people telling me they own a Tesla and they still don't use autopilot. Autopilot meaning the one that comes in everyone's car, also called auto steer. Okay, this is just where your car drives for you, and it's designed specifically right now for highways in interstates, but people use it all over the place. So what I would recommend is this: if you own a Tesla and you're not really sure when to use it yet, or you haven't been using it, you're scared to use it, I recommend doing it first on the highway with very few people around. The biggest reason why people are afraid to use this is, well, the car is now controlling it, your life's on the line, you feel like at any moment it might just do something you're not okay with and crazy. This is why people don't use it. I totally get it and understand. As someone who's a beta tester, by the way, you guys want some beta tester merch and stuff, go down, check below. But if you're not doing that, if you're not using it and you want to, don't start in some back road by your house, some rural, country road. Don't start in the city with streetlights, other people around. Go get on an interstate, middle of the day, sometime when it's not traffic time. Put it in autopilot, keep your hands on the wheel, of course, at all times, no matter what, and get used to it that way. Build your confidence starting on the freeway or highway. Work your way into doing it in other areas if you want to go there. But that's going to be the fastest, simplest way to get your confidence up and start trusting the amazing system, because you definitely should be doing that in your car. It's absolutely incredible. Go check it out and learn it that way. All right, I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope maybe one of these few tips we talked about already have already sort of helped you. But right now what I want to do is talk to you guys about the sponsor of this video that I'm really excited about. As someone who spends way too much time sitting, I decided to partner up with a company called FlexiSpot and their E7 standing desk. The desk goes together in just a few pieces and is shockingly smooth and stable. It's powered by dual motors capable of holding up to 355 pounds. The E7 is incredibly flexible with a height range of 22.8 inches to 48.4 inches, and it moves throughout this range with hardly a sound. The width is also adjustable, allowing a desktop of 43.4 inches up to 74.8 inches. The LCD panel responds easily to your touch and has presets of, say, sitting or standing in my case. It's made of high quality steel and comes with a 15-year warranty. In a study run by a Harvard professor, he found 87% of people who use a standing desk feel they have way more energy and just overall feel better. And as someone who's had spinal surgery, this is definitely the case for me. This desk is currently running on a sale, so for more information on this and the discounts, find the information down below in the description. Next up is live sentry view, and what that is the ability to look from your phone and view the cameras around your car, as well as use the microphone to communicate with your car, yelling at people, making fun of your kids in the driveway, whatever you want to do. And here's how it works. Inside your Tesla app, you're going to go into the security and drivers tab. On the very top there, it's going to say sentry mode. Make sure it's toggled to on. Then when you click the view live cameras, It then pulls up the ability to look at your different cameras. So there's the front. You can click on the side to see the side view, and it's really nice how it kind of glows and shows you, what the view angle is there, as well as on the bottom there, look at the back. So you got the front, the back, and the 2 side cameras. You can press and hold the mic to talk like this.
Get away from my car. Hey, don't laugh at me.
I probably just scared someone in my driveway. You can press the honk button, or you can flash your lights. So if you're in a dark parking lot or something like that and you want to try to find your car, you can tap that and flash your lights. Someone's walking around your car messing with it, peering in the windows, you can talk to them, you can hit the honk, which is kind of fun, but it's a nice way to actually view what's going on with your car. My wife and I have often jumped on it to check, the weather. Go around our house, see if it was snowing or something like that. You can use it for whatever you want, but you do need to have data to your car, so you need to be paying the $9.99. I have heard of people, rumors saying that, if the car is on Wi-Fi or if you're streaming to the car. I've never verified any of that. For me, we pay the $9.99 or whatever it is per month, so that's why we have access to that on the web. The car has to be able to have data as well as on your phone. Now for this next one, since we mentioned hotspot, we're going to talk about that tip as well, and that is just simply the fact that you can hotspot from your mobile device to your Tesla. So now, why would you want to do that? Well, a lot of people don't want to pay the additional $120 a year to have the data package in their car. Now, you don't get everything from hotspotting your car, but you do get things like you can then stream music, you can watch your Netflix shows in Google, YouTube, and whatever else you want to do on the entertainment side of things. You can browse the web using the web browser, all that. You can do that all in your car with a hotspot. And here's how you do this. Now, I have no idea how Android devices work, but on an iPhone, you're going to go into your settings, come down here to personal hotspot. Now, remember that you want to make sure that you're being very aware of how much data you're using and that you pay for a hotspot. And sometimes if you go to the end of your paid internet, from doing something like this streaming, it'll massively either turn your internet off or your data off for the rest of the month, or it'll be much reduced amount of data you can use. So it's really slow, barely can even browse with it, or it might just upcharge you immensely. So be very careful doing this. You make sure you have a lot of data. But if you do, come down here into hotspot and then just make sure it's allowing others to join. So then you can go into your car, then you go up here to the top right. You can go there a few different places. If you want to go up here to the Wi-Fi and you're going to select, a new Wi-Fi, find, let it stream, click on the one you want, enter in the password that you've set inside of the iPhone app. Okay, you can either have the custom one that you've made there, or it can be one that, is just preset there. And then once you're joined on, well, then your car is back on the web. And I've never tried this, but I've also heard you can download updates from that. I don't know how well it would work or how fast it would be, but I've also heard you can do that as well. Now for this next one, continue on the trend of internet, hotspot, Wi-Fi, that sort of thing, is a site where you can actually stream a lot more different sources, such as HBO Max, than what the car provides in its theater system. So assuming you are able to browse the web, you have data to your phone or your hotspot to your phone, go into a web browser, then what you're going to do is go to this website right here, www.abettertheater.com. Once you're there, then you can do a full screen. It's optimized just for the Tesla screen, so you can go there and access a bunch of stuff like that. But why I even care about this, because normally I wouldn't, but the reason why I did is because I've been trying to catch up on the Game of Thrones, the latest season, and you can go on there and HBO Max, you can watch it there. And so when the girls were at ballet, my girls, well, that's where Daddy gets to catch up on those kind of things. Because when I'm home, no, not watching those kind of things. It's reality shows like The Bachelor. I don't get any time to watch my cool stuff. All right, now this next one is one of my favorites, all-time greatest secrets, little tips that you can do with your Tesla and your phone. And that is that you can send a location from Google Maps or Apple Maps straight to your Tesla navigation system. But let me tell you why this is important, because there's a few ways to do this. One, you can tell it voice activated. You can click the little wheel on the steering wheel and just simply tell the car how to get there. We know about that, and that's fine if there's no kids yelling in the back of the car like I often have. And if it's totally silent, that generally works pretty well. You can also type it in if you're at the side of the road. That also can work. Or if you're a family like me, your wife can pull up a new destination. Maybe it's a restaurant or additional stop we need to go to on her phone, tap the little share button, and send straight over to the Tesla navigation. It is so convenient and so easy. Another way to get it into your navigation without having to use one of the other methods is if you do it like me. I have my whole day planned out on my calendar. I time block everything, and many of those revolve a destination. Well, if you put the address in the destination on your calendar and you make sure that your phone is synced, including the calendar with your car, then when it comes time to go to that destination, open up the calendar, tap the location of where you want to go. It's right there on the event on your calendar, and it'll go straight to the navigation. Now, there's lots to know about in terms of the navigation system inside of the Tesla. Lots of great tips we're going to be doing about that. In this video, we're only going to cover about 2, but I am working on a video that's going to be coming up with all the great tips and secrets about navigating that you need to know about. So, of course, make sure you subscribe and you have that bell notification rung so you know when that video comes. All right, next up on number 7, I believe, I've lost track of what number we're on, is one that every Tesla owner needs to know about. It's one that a lot of people do know about, but a lot of people also don't know about. I've seen it at superchargers when I've been there. I've had people write me on Twitter and wherever else asking me, hey, how do I get my the charger out of my car? It's locked in there. Well, there's one little way to do this. If electronics have all failed and you can't get the dumb wand thing, whatever you want to call it, out of your car, and that is through the trunk. If you look in there, right where the Tesla plugs in, there's a little, looks like kind of like venting in the fabric there in the top left corner of your trunk. So this says inside of your trunk, up in the top left. Stick your hands in there. There's this little cord you can actually grab and pull. When you pull that, it's going to release the wand and you're going to be able to take it out of your car. All right, next is a very simple one, but sometimes the simplest are the sweetest. And I actually owned my car for almost 3 years before I learned this one, and it was sort of learned by accident. And that is that you can extend the sun visors. But most people don't know about this because it's not a visual thing. You can't look and see that it can do this. So here's what I'm talking about. You notice how like whenever you try to use a sun visor, it's always like 1 inch from being useful, or it covers half the sun, but there's a little gap between the mirror or on your passenger window or something is just not quite, can't reach it. Well, you can actually slide the sun visor away from the little pivot mechanism that holds the sun visor. So just pull it out, turn it, pull it, and you can adjust it a little bit. Who would have known? All right, this next one is one that you must know if you park your car inside of a garage, especially if you have a Model Y. And for some people, if you have a low enough garage, a Model 3, and that is how to adjust the height of your trunk. I'm kind of embarrassed that we owned the Model Y for a few months, having to park our car outside of the garage to unload all the groceries and everything before someone commented and said, dude, did you know you could do this? And so here's what you do. And I would try doing this maybe before you do it in the garage the first time in case you do it wrong so you don't smack it on the top of the garage. But here's how you adjust the height of it and keep it that way. Open up the trunk, and when it's right about where you want it to be, press the close button. That will cause the trunk to stop. From there then, press and hold the button and it will eventually beep. After that, that's now the new height. It's that simple. So open the trunk, press it to stop, then press and hold and it will beep, showing you that, hey, it's now been recalibrated to the right height that you want it to be. Then in the future, show up, open up the trunk, it'll stop before it smashes into the roof or top of your garage door or whatever it is, and you're good to go. And the last one we're going to talk about today is something that can drive you crazy and almost kill you if you're a tall guy married to a short woman, such as yours truly. I am 6'1", my wife is 5'4", she argues 5'5", she's 5'4". And you can imagine that our seat profiles are quite a bit different. There are very few things less panicky than getting into the car when it's on her profile and having your knees get jammed into your chest. So here's how you avoid this, or at least know what's coming. Under the car's profile, you can go in and set which device to prioritize on which car. So, for example, on my Model 3, my car, I have my profile under Superman set to be my profile. So if we both get in the car and he texts us both there, it's going to choose my phone every time as the profile. On the flip side, when we get into the Model Y, it's set to my wife's profile. So it's always going to go to hers. Even if I'm in the driver's seat, it's going to go to her profile. But I don't die anymore because I know that's going to happen. I don't have to wonder because it's set to her device. Now, if I get into the car and she's not in there, it'll still detect me and most of the time change it to my profile. That's not guaranteed, by the way. But setting that profile there makes it a lot simpler and can save your life. So that's going to wrap up this first of the series of 3 tips videos. If you guys had a good time, you learned something new, or just had some fun watching it, do me a favor, hit the like button. Check out that awesome new desk we talked about there. Maybe it's a great holiday gift. They're on a sale right now, so you guys can get some discounts down below, as mentioned in the video. And also be sure and comment some tips that you want to see come up on the channel that you found for you are really helpful. It astonishes me that 3 years into owning a Tesla and making videos for that time period, I still am learning all kinds of new stuff thanks to you guys here on the channel and your interaction. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you that come back and subscribe and watch the videos and hit the like button. That's what keeps this stuff going. Likes, comments, help with the YouTube algorithm. That's what makes this whole thing work. So I appreciate all of you guys on that. That's going to wrap this one up. We'll see you on the next one.